All right, last week on Paul Murray Live, when I was hosting that, I made all of my predictions for the first week in Parliament. Now, overwhelmed newbies were not going anywhere without an advisor. They had to have, that entourage. All the right levels of virtue signalling would be on display. And of course, there would be a hiding of the real issues Australians are facing. Also, how did I do? One man who was there was Senator Alex Antic. He joins me now. Senator, it's great to have you on the show again. I really appreciate your time. The entourages, did you see them? Did you see the virtue signalling? And, what other nonsense was happening in Canberra?
Well, I think you've summed that up pretty well, Cory, that little summary there, and 10% for the big guy for you. So well done. Look, this is only my second Parliament opening. I was a bit probably in that category last time myself, so I probably was a bit, overwrought. But it's pretty accurate, I have to say. It does feel a little bit different. The, RM wearing young Liberal staffers have now been replaced in many instances by,
sandal weaving greenies.
And hemp bags, of course. You said it, not me, although I did as well. So the feel is different, but it's all very similar. I mean, we spent the entire week, not me, but those driving the show from Labor's side, spent all week talking about things that real Australians don't care about. Things like the voice to Parliament. Things like in the Senate, of course, we've added another 4 flags to the chamber, Cory, you'd be happy to know. There were 2 Australian flags, and now we've got 2 Aboriginal flags and 2 Torres Strait Islander flags as well. And I must say, that was the first order of business for the Senate almost on the Tuesday, or maybe the Wednesday morning, but it was the first order of business. Now, you know as well as I do how the departmental staff take their time on some instances. Well, let me tell you, when it came to bringing in those flags, they were running like it was the revolution down the halls, ready to get them in place. So identity politics is alive and well in Canberra.
It's quite extraordinary. I went through the virtue signalling early on in the show and discussed some of it with Mark Latham. But you've got a whole new paradigm there. I predicted the Teals, who demanded more of an entourage and are still whinging about it. They didn't go to the introduction of the emissions trading or the emissions scheme. Did you see much of them? Were they just cultivating the press, walking the gallery with their advisors close by?
Yeah, 6 for a cup of coffee, I think, is normally the way in order to make sure you stamp your ground on it. Look, I didn't, but of course most of them are in the House, not the Senate, although there are a few new people in the Senate. All seem like very nice people. David Pocock seems like a really nice bloke. But immediately there is a different feel. I mean, it must be said, there is a new feel in Parliament, which I have to say, from where I sat, I posted something on social media about this. It weighs on me a bit. I think we're in for a tough 3 years. I think it's going to be a real balance to keep that bubble even less bubble-like than it is, because I don't think the ability to talk about real issues has gone in the right direction in the last period. I think we're going to be talking about all sorts of things that they love in Ultimo and they don't care about in Toowoomba.